guys, welcome back out to Film Learnin Vlogs. Today we're answering even more of your questions because you asked them. Now guys, before we get into it, I just want to say that we're almost at 40,000. As you can see here, we are at 39,631 subscribers. So not long until our 40,000 subscriber celebration I eat SpongeBob thing. Just stay tuned for that. Should be fun. Oh, and also before we get going, I am still working on the Justice League tutorial, which is why we've got a vlog episode today. This might even be cut into 2 parts depending on how long it goes, because there's about 20 questions and the rambling, you know. Okay, our first question comes from JJ Mess. Just wondering, if it's mostly just you, then you are the puppeteer of the puppet also? I kind of thought that was obvious by now, that I'm also the puppeteer. The whole Lone Archer Films thing basically means that I'm by myself in this room, apart from the dogs, which are sitting over there. But it's not overly hard, and it's really quite easy to puppeteer. It's just genuinely uncomfortable to operate a puppet. But we'll get into that later. Next question, Gotham City Studio 02 asked, I was wondering for some normal light assist indoor, what kind of light you recommend? And I am not a billionaire, smiley face. I'm guessing he's asking for a type of indoor light that's not overly expensive. Look, if you go on eBay, you can buy a softbox light kit, which won't cost you any more than say a couple of $100, thus, you know, going well under the whole billionaire status. Usually they do come from China and they're all boxed up and ready to go. They come in all their gear bags and everything. That's basically what I did. I think I spent about $250, got 3 softbox lights, all bagged up, ready to go, globes in them and everything. And I've had them for about 5 years now and they work fantastically. Don't take them outside because every time I've taken them outside, they've fallen over and smashed globes. Each one of these lights here has a complete, incomplete set of light globes. This one has one, the one that I'm pointing at right now that's on me. There's another one over here that actually has one hanging out of it with the wires exposed. They're not meant to be sort of taken around town and whatnot, which is why I got these Aperture Amaran lights, which I think this was around about $80 to $90. Now these things are actually really, really bright and they're very, very handy because you can just, look how small it is. I mean, that's smaller than an iPad mini. You can just chuck that in your bag, take it wherever you want. They've actually got mounting brackets so you can just put them onto a light stand. You can attach them to your top of your camera. I wouldn't recommend doing that because they get really bright, and staring down the lens of something that has a light shining right in your eyes, you're gonna have a bad time. But overall, these lights are fantastic. They're not expensive. They take about 6 AA batteries, or as I said last week, they do take the old Sony batteries, which you can buy on eBay for next to nothing. And at the end of the day, these things are really good lights. But if you don't want to go down the LED route, you can always go the softboxes. Our next question comes from The Undertaker. Can you make yourself inside any movie? Thanks. I'm guessing he means, can you sort of comp yourself into any movie? And given the right color correction, and if you match the lighting of certain shots, you can green screen yourself into any movie, really. Your best bet is to find a locked off shot, so you don't have to do any sort of camera tracking, but it's not overly hard. I guess I could do a tutorial on it. I mean, I don't know. Is that something you guys want? Just let me know down in the comments. Next up, ParVFX asks, what microphone do you use for your voiceovers? I'm a bit of a tech nerd. The microphone I use for my voiceovers is an Audio-Technica AT2020 USB condenser mic. The reason I bought that one over, say, a Rode microphone is because I bought that probably 5 years ago and they didn't have a Rode USB condenser mic. There actually wasn't a lot of USB condenser mics back then. And I saw that on a video for, I think it might have been an Anarcana video. And I thought, okay, let's grab that. Before I got that, I actually had to plug my shotgun mic into my Zoom H4, record that, take it off the SD card from the Zoom, plug it into the computer, download all that stuff onto my computer, and then start editing. It's just a massive pain in the butt, and it's made my life a hell of a lot easier now that I can record live straight to my computer. The next question's from Haliar Gutierrez. I've probably just that name, so sorry in advance, dude. What are your computer specs? I'm not going to get into all of the computer specs right here. I'm just going to do is just plunk them right down in the description, and you can just go ahead and read them, because off the top of my head, I have no idea what's in that computer. It's about 6 years old now, and it's way out of date. I'd love to build a new one because that thing crashes more times than, well, I don't know what's something that crashes a lot. Destruction Derby cars? Remember that game? Next up, Michelle Robinson. Would you ever do a weekly challenge where each week you set a different effect for us to do? Know what I mean? Yes, I do know what you mean. Short answer, no. Unlike, say, Filmright, who does that Monday challenge, and they've got actually a staff that can go through all those videos, it's just me, unless I can pay the dogs to do it. I don't have the time to go through all the entries, let alone find a prize each week for you guys to have. It's not possible for me to do. It took me 3 weeks to go through the 70 entries that we had for the 30K film comp. So doing it on a weekly basis, just no chance in hell. So I'm sorry about that, but it's just the reality of the situation here. I can either make videos for you guys, or I can judge your videos week to week and just sit on my ass in the meantime. I'd rather make the videos. Next up, Recresk. I don't know. Will you show us how to create something in Cinema 4D and then put this as a 3D object in the video? Well, I've kind of done bits and pieces of that, like in the How to Kill a Goomba video back in, it might even be season 1 or season 2. I made something in Cinema 4D, which was a Goomba, and then we exported that into After Effects and then put it into the shot. We've also made stuff in After Effects, making the Flash logo from scratch. We've done a whole bunch of stuff in Cinema 4D, but I've never just made something in there and then put it into the shot. It's always sort of a component of a different tutorial. Say we've made something in 3D and then we've just sort of plonked it into the shot. Whether we do that or not, I don't know. It might be something to work on in the future. I know I've got this Adobe Fuse thing coming up where I'm going to show you how to make your own CGI stunt double, but we'll just see how it goes. Moving on, Flash Multi-Fandom, can you follow me on Instagram at Patrick Mac? Also, would you ever think of doing a weekly challenge? This is the same sort of thing. Dude, honestly, I don't really do much on Instagram. Anyone who's actually found my Instagram hasn't found it through any fault of my own. I don't advertise it, and it's got a lot of just baby pictures on there, and it dates back, oh God, probably 5 years. And there's nothing really effects laden in there. There might be a couple of shots of the studio when I first started making sketches, but I'm pretty inactive on Instagram. The only reason I actually put my baby pictures on there is just so I've got sort of an archive of them. Can I follow you on Instagram? Sure, I guess, but you're not gonna really see me much. Next up, Red Alert. Thank you for having a name that's easy to pronounce. What are your favorite YouTube channels and TV shows? By the way, loving these vlogs. Well, thank you. As far as YouTube channels go, I enjoy Grade A Under A. I've been subscribed for a fair while, since he was about 60,000 subs, I think. Same with H3H3. They were probably about 300,000 when I subscribed to them. Boogie2988, always enjoy his content. He's got a lot of, not so much the Francis stuff, the stuff where he's actually talking about himself, because it's amazing what that guy has gone through, seriously. The fact that he's still upright and walking around is just amazing to me, and just a great guy. Let's just jump into my subscriptions and see, because honestly, I mean, I cycle through a lot of stuff. Red Letter Media, I enjoy those half in the bag reviews, although they are long, they're really fun. I enjoy the movie reviews of Chris Stuckman and Jeremy Johns, they're pretty cool. The odd flick pick one, for some reason I can't stand the way that guy says Batman. And he's always talking about Batman, so it's really hard for me to get through his videos because, yeah, he loves Batman and he's always talking about him. What else we got? Look, subscribe to Screw Attack, have been for ages. I don't watch as much content of theirs as I used to because it's just the nature of the beast. I don't have a lot of time for gaming, so a lot of the gaming stuff I can't really identify as much with anymore. It's actually surprising how little things I'm subscribed to, or that I actually watch. I generally just hit the home button and float around YouTube and just click on things that look interesting. And that's about it, really. As far as TV shows go, you know I watch The Flash. I enjoy the hell out of that show. I do tolerate Legends of Tomorrow. Look, I think it's okay. It's gonna probably get better as they go along, hopefully. Arrow it's going downhill for me. Honestly, season 4 was a complete mess. Season 3 was probably worse than season 4, I'd say. It really just peaked at season 2 and then just went down the gurgler. But you'll find a lot of TV shows do that. They have a great first season. Like you could say Heroes had a great first season. And then they didn't really have a plan beyond season 1. So it just went like that. It's the same thing with like shows like Prison Break. Prison Break, fantastic first season. Okay, second season. And then they got this whole conspiracy thing happening. I mean, I know it's coming back. But I never even finished watching season 4. Obviously, I like watching Game of Thrones and Daredevil. I really enjoyed Jessica Jones. I can't really think of anything else off the top of my head right now. Probably gonna bug me later now. Okay, our next one comes from Sharif Next up, Sharif Adepiju. I don't know. What's up? Favorite podcast? I don't listen to any podcasts. The last time I listened to a podcast was probably Side Scrollers on Screw Attack, and that probably would have been 3 or 4 years ago now. I don't have the time to listen to a lot of stuff like that. The closest I probably get is just those half in the bag reviews from Red Letter Media, because they go for around about, I don't know, 30 minutes or so. That counts as a podcast, I guess. But apart from that, nothing else. Oh, this is a big one. The Big Bad Wolf asked, I'm just gonna burn through this, and he's just asked to say, am I excited for a new Red Dead game? And have I finished any other Red Dead games? I have never played a single Red Dead game. In fact, the last Rockstar game I played was LA Noire, which I don't think was really made by them. And before that, it was probably GTA Vice City? Was that like the one after Grand Theft Auto 3? That's about it as far as games go. I really don't play a lot of games. In fact, if I look over there, I can see a copy of Uncharted 3 that is still in a shrink wrapping that I bought nearly 3 years ago now and still haven't been able to play it because I'm just too damn busy. My brother does a lot of gaming. I mean, I could probably bring him on at some point to talk about games. But as far as me personally, I don't play any damn games. Next up, Kamal R asked, and yeah, I know there's a lot of questions. Have you time to make lifetime video and we will ask you questions? I'm guessing he's talking about live streaming. I personally have never done it because I just think I don't really have a scheduled time where I can live stream. I mean, in between looking after my son and spending time with my wife and job and all that sort of stuff, and I know I say this again and again and again, I can't think of a specific time where I can just say, yep, I've got time to stream. So I'd rather do this back and forth with the Q&A videos to answer people's questions. I know it's not a great answer, but it's the only one I've got at the moment. Okay, next up, Edwin Lay asks, Marvel or DC? Well, I'm not going to get into a huge debate over this. I have no preference either way. All I'll say is that Marvel has done a much better job establishing their cinematic universe than DC, which have done, what have they done? Man of Steel, which was okay. Batman vs Superman, which was not very good at all. That's just my opinion. I don't want that same guy that started debating that all the morals and quibbles and overarching themes in the comments to get back down there again. I didn't like it. That's my opinion. I don't hold out a lot of hope for Justice League, but it's only because my expectations are in the toilet after those two movies. Haven't seen Suicide Squad yet. Don't know if I will. I think I'll just wait for either stream or Blu-ray on that one because the reviews don't look great and some friends have seen it and they've said it's just okay. So at the moment, I don't have an opinion. I just want DC to make better movies. Hey Sham Khan asks, hey, you put videos so that we can test the effects on them? I'm guessing he's asking for me to put some of my footage up as an example that you can test out the effects on. I'm gonna say no on that one because I don't want a whole bunch of effects tests being uploaded to YouTube with my footage in them. I don't have a lot of love for effects tests being put onto YouTube. I'd rather someone film a short and have the effects in some sort of context. At the end of the day, the idea of someone taking some footage that I've shot for my show and putting their own effects on it and then chucking it onto YouTube, it sort of flies in the face of what I want people to do with these effects. I want you to go out there and I want you to shoot something and I want you to put your own spin on these effects and make something. Not to just take some of my footage, slap the effect on it, upload it to YouTube, and that sort of be the end of it. Next up, Outfit. When you were a kid, what was your favorite video game character? Go-to answer is Mario. I mean, I was big Nintendo all across the board. I mean, you might think, oh, I'd say Ninja Turtles, but did you play that Ninja Turtles NES game as a kid? It was punishingly bad. So I gotta say Mario, and then when I was a teenager, pretty much the Resident Evil games across the board. I love those games, even though the first and the second one, or even the third one, the controls are not great. But I just love the hell out of those things. Just the whole idea of the whole zombie thing and shooting and just, I don't know, just loved it. The movies, on the other hand, no. Next up, and yeah, I know this is going on, Padlock Tales asked, have you ever thought of doing collabs with other Aussie YouTubers such as Raka Raka, Shooter Williams, Super Wog, My Chonny, etc.? I've never heard of any of those guys. My whole viewership on YouTube is kind of a niche market. I look at movie reviews, I look at some comedy skits. I don't look at a lot of stuff because I don't have the time to watch a lot of it. So my field of view is pretty narrow. I don't watch a lot of Aussie YouTubers, so honestly, I've never heard of any of those guys. As far as collaborations go with other Aussie YouTubers, I don't know, none have contacted me, and I don't go out of my way to find other people to collaborate with because I don't have the time to schedule it. So at the moment, no. Killer Tactics asked, who is your favorite superhero? Other than The Flash, if that is your favorite. Well, The Flash isn't my favorite superhero. At the end of the day, I gotta say, Batman's my favorite superhero, just for the simple fact that it's the same sort of thing that the Nolan movies explored, that it is possible for someone to become Batman. And I think that's always been the biggest thing that attracts people to Batman, is that anyone could really be Batman. But I've got to throw a shout out to my boy Raphael, because he's pretty damn cool. So Ninja Turtle Raphael comes in second to Batman. Sunrise Studios asks a pretty similar question. Who is your favorite hero and villain and why? Well, we've answered the favorite hero. We've got Batman, Raphael. Favorite villain? I gotta say, Mark Hamill's Joker is probably one of my favorite villains. Even, I mean, you could say Captain Wesker in Resident Evil 1, 2, and however long. Not the movies, just the games. Favorite villains, Darth Vader. Hell, even Reverse Flash in that first season of The Flash was pretty damn cool. Oh, I was supposed to say why. Well, let's just say, watch the Batman animated series, play Arkham Asylum or Arkham City, and tell me you're not having fun whenever the Joker's on screen. He's a riot. He's completely unpredictable, and he's funny as hell, and he's also really, really, really creepy. I mean, it's an amazing thing. From all the way back to, say, Cesar Romero's Joker in the 1960s Batman, the Joker's always been this massive, larger-than-life, charismatic villain. But he also has that really, really bad dark side. I mean, not in the 1960s thing, but, I mean, like I said, play those Arkham games and tell me I'm wrong. Next up, Riot Freecast. Grant, huge fan. I would sure send you stuff. That's good to know. That's another vote for the PO box opening. I've been looking into that, so just stay tuned. Maybe you could do a series where you analyze the footage of the real show and then mimic the effect instead of just the show. I don't really know what you mean there. I mean, what do we do on Film Learnin right now? We take a shot or an effect from the show and we mimic it. So we can't already do that now. So just let me know down in the comments if you want to clarify what you're asking there, because I don't really get it. And finally, Christopher Cosby asked, Mr. Godman, you're doing an amazing job with the After Effects tutorials, etc. Would you consider doing proper film tutorials in the future, with how you would set up for a corporate video, or how you'd go about areas within jobs outside purely just graphical work? Almost like a Film Riot-esque video. Cheers. I don't really know what you mean by that. I'm guessing you mean setting up for an actual shoot, like in a corporate video. It's not overly hard to do these sort of things, but most of my corporate videos are recording, say, live events, and most of them center around some sort of medical conference or something like that, because I do work in the hospital medicine industry. So a lot of my corporate work is just recording people doing presentations or something for an e-learning module or something along those lines. And a lot of the times it's just someone talking directly to a camera or to a screen. I mean, I can show you sort of a basic lighting setup for an interview or something like that, but most of the time it's just me plonking down a camera and recording a live event of someone giving a PowerPoint presentation. It's not glamorous, but it does pay the bills. Well guys, that is the end of the questions. Whew, that was a long one. As always guys, if you enjoyed the vlog, please like and share it. The social media is up there, not the Instagram, but if you want to find it, I'm sure you can. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm gonna have that Justice League teaser out very, very soon, guys. I'm just still working on it. There is a hell of a lot of lighting involved in that sequence because it goes slow-mo and then it back and forth, and there's a whole bunch of shots, and I want to make sure I cover everything. So just stay tuned to the channel, and I'll see you soon. Oh, guys, before I go, don't forget, if you do want to ask a question, hashtag FLVlog. You guys are doing a great job with that. If there was anything that I haven't answered, just let me know down in the comment section, and I'll see you next time. Oh, sorry, I was supposed to say, keep learning.